Hi all. I thought that I would take advantage of one of my little students who is not arriving for class at the moment, and I wanted to share with you a couple of ideas and tips on how to make your lesson a little bit easier in terms of the teaching feedback report per student. Okay, most companies require you to give a bit of a feedback on the progression of the students and how they did in class, and this often goes to the parents. And yeah, so basically you can see my screen. My student hasn't arrived for class, so let's hope that I can finish this video. Important to stay in your lesson. In case the student decides to arrive at the last minute. They have done that to me. But anyway, so whilst I've got my lesson or my platform open, I also at the side here, and you will see I do not have the platform full screen, so I just position it, and there's two reasons I've done that. Number one, on this specific platform, the video or our faces is on the right hand side. If I am looking at it, it's on the right hand side, and your camera is in the middle. So I have aligned this, if you can see my camera, and the pictures or the photos or the video, whatever you want to call this, your profile, is just slightly underneath my camera. So when I'm looking at the student, my face is still central. One of the things I did wrong is I kept looking at the bottom of my screen. I wanted to see, what is my student saying? Are they pronouncing correctly? And I would be doing this. So now that I've resized the platform a little bit to the center, I am looking at my student, and they can see, most importantly, the way that I speak. So one of the things I find very helpful is I have got the time and date world clock to remind me the time in Beijing, to show me the time in Joburg, and whatever other countries I'm dealing with or would like to know about, okay? And I open this up automatically at the start of every session, or at the start of when I am working. Then what I do, and this one is very important for me, is I created a sticky note teaching feedback report. And it's just for on the Mac, because I use a Mac. It's a sticky note, but I do believe you can use something similar on PCs. Otherwise, just a Word document, just condensed into a tiny little corner, can also work. Nothing fancy is needed. So all I did is I put a couple of questions that I will ask myself about each student. So the group, and that's important if you are teaching at more than one company. The time, I like to note down the Beijing time and South African time, so that when I go into the platform, I know exactly whose feedback I'm dealing with. Their name, and getting the student's name is important for me, as I keep calling them by their names through the lesson. So when I'm teaching, for example, Peter, I will go, Peter, what do you think, Peter? Do you think that's right, Peter? Peter, is this a lamp or is this a chair? What do you think, Peter? It's important to use their name. The one little girl I had, her name is Starry. I didn't quite hear her name properly, and I asked her to type it, and I said, please type your name. I really don't want to call you the wrong name. And am I saying your name right? Okay, and that really helps with your reporting. Any new words that you might have taught them, you can add them as you are going, and any sentences that you can think of, especially ones where they struggle with, you can quickly type them in while they're busy thinking of an answer for you. Some companies want you to specifically provide a positive moment. Perhaps the student made up a brilliant sentence or said an awesome story or something, and then you can just put in here, told a wonderful story, has a good imagination. Okay, and then in some cases strength, weaknesses, and then you can add notes. For example, student was late, she was distracted by her baby sister. Okay, which actually happened. All right. So what I do is when I've completed the report, to keep my sanity, I will just copy and paste and say completed. Okay, so here I will go, then I will just copy that and then just go paste, 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 and paste however many times. Okay, the other thing that I found is this at the top here where I have the Beijing time and my local time, Johannesburg. And I find this useful because in some cases the platform doesn't convert the time, or you can't change the time to local time. And it's just helpful to know, because if you understand that your little 5-year-old has been told to have an English lesson at 9 o'clock at night, you're going to have to work extra hard to keep her awake, motivated, and full of energy. Okay, so that is another little tip that I have, but this one for the feedback, guys, works like a bomb. Okay, and I thought I would just share that, and I will speak to you soon. Bye!